All right, so we just dropped the rental van off at the airport. We're over at the gas station. We just filled up and we're sorting through everything because basically at the dealership we had to do a full-on changeover. So now we're going to be driving all the way to Port Basque, and that is showing an arrival time of 2:52 a.m. It is 6 o'clock p.m. right now. Well, we made it over 8 hours. Right now it's 3:20 in the morning, Saturday morning. Our ferry leaves at 11:45. We have to get there about 2 hours early. But we're parked for the night where we parked when we first arrived on the island. And now this is where we're staying the day that we're leaving the island. So, more updates coming soon. All right, so we're here in Port Basque, and we're in the line to get to the ferry, but they do a checkpoint just to ask you a few questions of what you have on board, anything that was grown in Newfoundland that you're bringing back over to Nova Scotia. Also, I'm waiting in line right now, and it is a car wash, so they're going to spray down the car, make sure everything's clean and sanitized. Something else that the guy had told me is that there are a lot of moose hunters right now that are bringing their moose back over to Nova Scotia, back to the mainland. So I think we might see some moose in the back of these vehicles.
So I was asking why they're washing the cars. They have to wash every single car, and he's like really washing it. He's doing a really good job. So I googled it, and it said, I was told that this was done to prevent the carrying of plant parasitic nematoids which attack potato crops from Newfoundland to the mainland. So that's why we didn't have to do it on their way there. It's Newfoundland. It is contagious. we got our van and we went all the way to the ferry, which was an 8-hour drive, 8.5, and we had to do that through the night. We got to our campsite just outside where the ferry is, and we slept for maybe 3.5, 4 hours. We rushed to get in line. That took a while. We got to see some moose racks, which was pretty cool. And as soon as we got on this boat, we crashed and took a nice little siesta. So now Derek's going to show you the nice cool room we got.
So, probably wondering where the heck Pete is. Pete is not with us because they do have pet-friendly rooms, but there was none available. So you have 3 options when you're on the ship. You can have a pet-friendly room. You can kennel them with your own small kennel and put them into like a storage area with multiple other dogs, or you can keep them in your vehicle. Now we went with the vehicles scenario because we just wanted Pete to be where he's most comfortable.
Last time we did the little storage area and it was really cold. It's literally just a cold room on the outside on the boat, and there's no heat, and that was in the summer. So now we're leaving in the fall. There's no way I was going to do that to my dog.
Yeah, it's in the 40s and 50s on land, so out at sea it's going to be much different. So that's where Pete is for 6 hours on this ferry ride. Now, some of the great options that we've got in this particular cabin, this is the Deluxe cabin. What's really great about this is you get a queen-size bed, you get coffee and tea complimentary, as well as an entire refrigerator, a small cooler that has all kinds of beverages. So now that we're awake, we're gonna head off and go explore the ship a little bit and see what they have to offer. We definitely know that they have a bar, they do have a restaurant, but they've got some pretty incredible views too. Well, this was not expected. They have flights of beer available. They did not have that on the ship that we took coming to Newfoundland. And I'm pumped because I get to try some of the beer that I wasn't able to try and get a couple of the ones that I love the most.
I'm sitting here trying to enjoy myself, and all I'm thinking about is my dog. Anybody else like that? I wish I could just call and be like, "Are you okay? Just a couple more hours. You're doing good." Just want to make sure he's just sleeping. If he's sleeping, great. If he's just sitting there stressed, I feel terrible. When they are in the van or in your vehicle, you're not allowed to go visit them. So that's why last time I opted for not leaving in the van, leaving him in that sketchy cold room, because I wanted to be able to visit him and talk to him and love him and stuff. and give him breaks. I could take him out and take him for a little walk. I have a little grass patch. So with him in the van, he's not doing anything. He's just there for 6 solid hours in a crate that he's not used to doing. I mean, he's a dog. He should be crate trained. He's not. So he'll be okay. I just hate it. Can someone go check? Is he okay?
This is the option that we took of getting this particular deluxe room, but there are multiple other options. There's different cabin styles, but the most popular is you can just get seats that you choose whenever you get onto the ferry. So when you get onto the ferry, you can find any seat anywhere on the boat and just plant yourself. And that's the most popular thing to do, but because we were coming from the other side of the island overnight, we knew that we were going to be tired, and that's why we got this particular room. If you're looking to eat and drink, there's something that you want to know. When you go to the bar, it's going to be open pretty much as soon as the ship is leaving port, but when you're going to the next port, 2 hours before arrival, they're going to cut off the bar. So that means no more liquor at the bar. However, if you'd like, you can go over to the restaurant and they're still going to be serving beer, wine, seltzers, anything like that, but they were not offering liquor at that point. So keep in mind, if you're taking the ferry during the daytime, 4 o'clock is going to be the cutoff point because you arrive at the next port by 6 or 6:30, depending on where you're going. Now, this ferry that we can't pronounce is the ferry that we're taking on the way back from Newfoundland over to Nova Scotia. And in our opinion, this ferry was much better. Not only was the setup overall just more aesthetically pleasing, it's much cleaner looking, and the seats in general are much more comfortable in the general seating area. Also, for anybody bringing a pet, the dog kennel area was so much better. It seemed like it was easier to just put your dog into and not have to worry about the weather, and even the area for relief, so much better. If you do end up getting a cabin, at least for right now, what we got was a little ticket like this. They'll say your name and then it says your cabin number, and then you can just go straight to the cabin. You don't have to go to the guest service counter at all. And you tap this piece of paper right against your door and you'll be able to get into your cabin. So this is where we kept Pete, inside the van. in the kennel, right down here. He looks okay.
You have a nice nap.
All right, so if you bring your dog, they're gonna give you one of these cards as you're going through line. So you're just gonna put this into the dash, and then that way the workers know that there's a dog inside the vehicle.
This is what we do to relieve some of his anxiety, give him a bone to get all that stress out. Is that good, Pete?
The internet is spotty on the ferry, but I was able to make a reservation for a campground about 20 minutes away. There's campgrounds all in this area in North Sydney area. So I think obviously in peak season you're going to want to make reservations ahead of time, but I was able to make one right on the ship, but it's early October and it's out of season at this point.